Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Lauren. Today I'm going to be talking about being under the influence and the psychic ability. So I was recently doing a live video and somebody had the question, does drinking inhibit the psychic ability? And I realized that this is a big topic, especially because when I was learning and taking courses, especially my shamanic courses, there's always somebody in the class that would ask, oh, will drugs help me get to that place a lot better? And so there's downsides and upsides to this, mostly downsides, but let's kind of talk about all of them here. So the nature of this question is what I have an issue with, and it's usually that someone is trying to figure out if using alcohol or using drugs could help them have a better trip or help them connect better. And although this might be the case with some people, I think there's a lot of problems with it. And the biggest problem is that you start to use it as a crutch and you can't use your psychic ability and connect without that drug or that drink. So let's just play out what happens. You decide to drink, you decide to be under the influence of drugs, and you decide to do some sort of reading or intuitive work in general. And the issue with this is that, okay, you're really open. Yes, it might help you open up more and remove those blocks that are in your way. But when you're so open and you lack that self-control, the question then becomes, who are you talking to? Do you have your boundaries set? Because you could be talking to something that's not for your highest and best good. And because you're under the influence, you're thinking, oh my gosh, I'm talking to, this spirit guide or something like that. And in actuality, you're not. And then there's the whole issue of, okay, you have less control and then you want to turn off your ability, but you can't because you don't have the control to turn it off because you're under the influence. So then you are talking to the wrong spirits, you're probably getting the wrong information, and then you have no control over your psychic ability. To me, that just sounds like a mess. And the issue, again, becomes reliance on it. So if you believe that the only way you can access your psychic ability is by having a drink or by smoking something, then you are telling yourself and you're telling your psychic ability that this is the only way it works. But I'm super confident in the fact that psychic ability is very intention-based. If you believe you can read, if you believe you can connect to those sources, then you're going to be able to connect. You don't need drugs, you don't need alcohol to be able to do this. And so to me, drinking is a cheap and easy way to remove those blocks to your psychic ability. And although it takes some work to figure out what's blocking you, I really feel like it's not worth it in the long run because then, it can become an addiction, and that's definitely not what we want. So I'm an advocate of doing things the right way and getting rid of your blocks by meditating, journaling, doing self-work, taking care of yourself, and then you can connect anywhere, anytime without any drugs or alcohol. And that's just such an empowering feeling, and you're connecting to the right source. You know that you're clean, you're clear, that the information is as correct as it can possibly be, and you're avoiding harming your physical body. So I don't advocate doing that at all. The people that ask me this obviously aren't, wanting to do that. It's just a curiosity of theirs, and I totally get it. And I think, I want to answer correctly and say that, yeah, it absolutely does let down your guard and it helps you be open. But just like any other thing in life, if you're using drugs to be more open so that you can talk to people more or to do this, then again, it's that reliance, it's that you can't do it again without it. And that's where we start getting into murky waters. But even with the psychic ability, it gets even worse because, you're connecting with possible negative energy. And that's just, let's not do that. So if you want to learn more about how you can remove those blocks to your psychic ability and how to get clearer and cleaner information, check out my course because I talk all about how you can remove your blocks, be a clean and clear vessel, set your boundaries. It's so important that we do all of this so that the information we're getting is good information. And so I teach you guys how to do that the right way in my course. So definitely check that out in the description below. So overall, let's just avoid the drinking and the drugs. I mean, you can still do it on your free time or whatever, but just don't read at the same time. I think we should separate those two and make sure that we're being responsible with our psychic abilities. Thank you guys. I will see you next time in my next video. Remember, at the end of the day, to always trust your intuition and be a clean and clear vessel.